All right, lower body day. Started at the track, getting some warm up here with some shorter tennis ball variation or lacrosse ball chase downs. Started from a knee. Body just was not feeling it today. Legs were just overall just kind of groggy. Didn't sleep good. Didn't eat the greatest over the weekend. So again, probably played a little bit of a role in it, but you're never going to have just perfect days all the time. But just don't skip days. You go, you put in the work, you adjust as you, based on how you feel. That's the auto regulation. You don't have to do everything. You have the greatest session planned, but if that session, if your body's just not up for it that day, is it really going to be the greatest session ever? Probably not. So again, use these shorter sprints, get the legs ready to go. For the actual sprints, I was doing some 5-10 flies. I was planning to do sled sprints, but the sled was not here today, so they must have put it away. They don't want people like me using it. Also did some change of direction here. Again, as also part of that get ready to go. So toss the ball up, shuffle to the line, turn and go, get the ball in as few bounces as possible. Just a simple, easy, fun variation to work on some change of direction. No, it's not as great as playing an actual game or a true agility of like tag or something like that. But I don't have any. I could probably go ask that old guy to play tag with me, but that wouldn't be too fun. But again, just toss it. As soon as you toss it, shuffle, hit to line, boom, go get it on a few bounces as possible. So no sled. So we did the overcoming ISOs into the wall. I got to get lower on those, more of an acceleration position, but I don't usually start from a 3-point, 4-point stance anyway. I usually just do a 2-point just because I'm not very good at the 3-point, 2-point. So did overcoming ISO contrast with the 5-10. Times were super slow today. It was like 0.5 of a second off of my record that I set last week or whenever that was. And then did some 20-yard sprints as well. As you can see, the goofy ROTC people. Man, it's fun. It's fun to watch some of those people run. Just goofy. But that's a whole other point. So did some single leg broad jumps. Mark it. Go until you can't beat it. Make sure you do both legs, left and right. My left was a lot better. I think my left is a more powerful jumping leg. I don't know if it's that cross lateral thing from years of playing basketball. You're right-handed, so you do layups with your right hand. But. All right, we just got back from the track. Walked there, walked back since I didn't have anything going on today. So I always like to walk there. It's like a 3-minute drive to get there, but it's like a mile away or so. So I like to walk there when I can't get those steps in, bonus steps. I don't have anything necessarily I have to be back for, get everything, not in such a rush like I am a lot of mornings. But felt like, I don't know, track was slow, I did acceleration, so I'll talk about it a little bit more when I do the video overview. I'll talk over that. But did some acceleration. Was hoping to do sled sprints, but they hid the sled. The sled was not there this morning, so I did some my typical warm up, some plyos, some tennis ball chase or lacrosse ball chase sprints, just to get ready to go. And then so I was planning to do contrast of a sled into a 5-yard fly with a 10-yard or 5-yard build, 10-yard fly. But since no sled, I just did overcoming ISOs, pushing into a wall for 5 seconds, then did it, then did the sprints. And sprints were super slow today. So I did some 5-10 flies and also did some 20-yard sprints. Nothing special, no PRs or anything like that, but you have those days. So now we're back here ready to get after in the lifting. I did some single leg broad jumps as well there. So today, we're going to do 3 exercises, 3 exercise superset, tricep, whatever you want to call it. We're going to go creating a lot of force by overcoming ISOs against the rack. So the rack is bolted to the ground, so I can't move it. So I'm going to try to. I'm in a squat position. So I'm going to have this pin down here. I'm going to have the chain around this and pull up and squat up like that. Probably like 3/4 of a way. Squat somewhere in there. We'll play around with it. But again, creating a lot of force into the ground. We're going to pair this with depth drops. I was hoping to get outside like I did last week, but it snowed yesterday, so there's a bunch of snow. Everything's covered. Don't need to be slipping. Don't need to go in and out dragging snow into the house. So we'll do those, unfortunately, up on the shelf type thing that I usually do them on, or do them on a lot in the winter. And then we're going to do approach vertical jump. So maybe getting a little bit of potentiation effect, but creating the force, getting some impact, taking on and creating force with the depth drops, and then using that force to jump and propel ourselves up. So I'm gonna play around with these. I like using the belt variation because it takes away the upper body, takes away where you could push a barbell into a rack, takes away the impact on the spine. It takes away the grip giving out our hands, upper body on the, if you're pulling into a rack or something like that. So it's just, and it's all creating a lot of force with the lower body. So I'll play around with this, gotta figure out what I want for height. So again, this seems pretty good. So again, you just gotta watch your nuts with this. Pinching of the old nuts on there. So again, I'll get in that quarter squat and just, now I'm gonna start pressing, pulling up, pressing in the ground, pulling up against the rack. So do those, we'll head upstairs, depth drops, vertical jumps upstairs too. And with my depth drops, the last few weeks have been more compliant, so think of creating less force, because you're kind of melting to the ground, more knee bend. These are going to be more stiff, more rigid, and trying to create more force, dropping to the ground. So it's going to be less knee bend, kind of stiff, kind of like think of sticking a landing. Just again, it's not to practice landing, it's to take on the impact, and we're not trying to be perfect with landing. It's trying to take on impact and create force into the ground. This is one of the highest force things you can do, especially if you're getting higher and higher and higher, or adding weight and dropping. One day I'm probably just gonna go right through the floor, but oh well. Now we'll go see how that hopefully potentiate some jumps, but if it's anything like speed, jumps are gonna be crappy today too. And as you can see, I still have no hops. That's the goal, is to get a little bit of hops this summer, get back to being able to jump. Used to be able to jump halfway decent back in the day, but again, can't use that as an excuse, can't live in the past. Gotta work on getting better at it. All right, next we're just going to work up heavy set of 3 on our 60 squat bar split squats. After our heavy set, we're going to do an iso hold. Heavy set, probably go while you got body weight on the bar. See how long we can hold each leg of that. We're going to do some iso, or not iso, glute ham raise. We're just going to do some spinal extensions on there. So I'll film those in between. So rotate between those two, get the best spine feeling good, and do work on our split squats. And here with these split squats, we're just building our way up. Man, these have felt pretty tough. Like, even like the lighter weights, legs were just not, I don't know, just not really sore, just nothing in them, no go to give. But just work our way up, got up to I think 65 for sets of 3. And then did these more focus, try to focus more on upper back. This is not the best set of these. I was more lower back on these, but trying to get more of that T-spine, that upper back extension on these. Just use the glute ham raise as kind of a obstacle or support for the lower back, and just kind of focus on the upper back, bending over it, using it as something to bend over. But again, always got to throw in the back work, keep that spine healthy as we continue to work our way up. Use the OVR over device to track speed as well. One thing they don't have a lot of exercises on there, but it doesn't really matter. It's tough to use it while doing your phone and recording. There's a record on there, but I don't know, every time I use it, it just slows down and doesn't like exit out of it properly. So I've just been manually changing it on the device, which is kind of a pain, but do what you got to do. So here was the top set. Left leg was just, I think my right leg was weird. My hamstring, my butt, or like, I feel like my butt, like, I don't know, if something in there doesn't feel like a pulled muscle, but it's just like I don't know if it's my hip bone or something in there that just doesn't feel right. But again, we made our way through it. No like serious pain, but just tired, I think, just worn down, beat down. Then we did 30-second iso holds each leg with body weight on there, so $165 on the bar, and just iso holds. Nice, challenging, and again, work on the tendons, fix the joints. Not fix the joints, but healthy tendons, healthy joints. That's what iso holds. Again, different variations. You got the yielding, you got the overcoming, which you did earlier. Hit all different variations in your training. We're doing some RDLs with the hamstrings and posterior chain a little bit. Some drop catch, so we've got heavy weight. We're going to let go of our grip. It's not going to be, you're not going to see like the full hands come off. That'd be tough when it's this heavy. So it's just a slight, let the grip go, let it drop fast, and catch it, and bring it back up. So a quick, fast on the eccentric, grab it rapidly, try and bring it back up. Again, it's heavier weight, so it isn't going to be as quick as, again, obviously if you do lightweight. So that's pretty self-explanatory. All right, I'm going to finish up. Hamstring impulses, heavy. Not working on quick, rapid reps today. Heavier reps, let it swing the momentum. Find that point. Find that point that feels good. Hammer it right against the hamstring. We'll also do leg extensions as well. So we finished up with the impulses, and that was the training session for today. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again soon.